Well, hello. Can everybody hear me? Hot topics. Woohoo! It is hot topics. Oops, I'm going to move this. There you go. Now you can see it. How's everybody doing? I'm back. It's good to be back. I went on a very nice vacation. I had $1,200 unused credit from United Airlines. See, I know all the tricks. People want to know how I travel. I figure out all kinds of tricks. Anyway, so I used them to go to Japan for 2 weeks. Woohoo! That was fun. I also had some hotel credits, which was cool. Got to stay at a 4-star hotel in Kyoto for 3 days. And I thought, oh, I so don't want to be here. Everything was fancy schmancy. Everybody dressed for dinner. I thought, oh, who goes on vacation so that they can be stressed out? I mean, seriously. I'm a 3-star type of girl, you know? I like a good budget hotel, 2-3 stars, where I can relax. Hopefully they've got a good buffet. You know, like the Red Lion is good for that. Radisson. What's that other one? Holiday Inn is too expensive. I think they're overpriced, actually. Yeah. Anyway, good to see everybody. Welcome back to you as well. We've got 2 new fairies and angels. We do. We have 2 new fairies and angels got their wings. I should get my marachas out, right? So let's give a warm welcome to Patrice Carney. She got her wings today. Congratulations, Patrice. You have to tell us if you are an angel or a fairy or a little bit of both. Also, Donald Lampert, congratulations, also got his wings today. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. It is awesome to get the support and means a lot to us. So usually we get together on Thursdays. I was flying yesterday back. I was absolutely exhausted. I started getting a pain. I've been getting these pains in my left eye, and then my left eye drips, which I believe is actually a migraine, but I'm going to an eye doctor to just check everything's okay. I guess when I'm stressed out, I get it. So I took some Advil on the plane, could not sleep flying back. Got back yesterday at 1:30. Mila's babysitter was kind enough to pick me up, and oh, something's shining on me a little too bright. Anyway, so I got home at around 2:30. I don't think I ate, and I slept until like 6 p.m., ordered some food, and they delivered it around 9:30. I had no food in the house because I gave everything to Mila's babysitter because I thought it's going to go bad, right? So I just gave him all my vegetables and everything that was going bad. So when I got back to the States, I didn't have anything. So I had to order a bunch of stuff. So the delivery came at 9:30. So dinner was stuff that I was having trouble getting in Japan, or, you know, you can pretty much get anything. But so dinner was tortilla and salsa, mild salsa, and some seltzer water. And then I went back to sleep until 10 in the morning. And I was thinking to myself, I am so exhausted. I'm never going to travel again. I just want to stay in Portland. I want to get cozy and live my simple, frugal life, not spending a lot of money, living simply. I'm more than content. I have everything I need. I don't want to travel anymore. I passed out. I slept 15 hours total. I woke up at 10 in the morning. I'm having my coffee. I'm checking my emails, and I'm thinking to myself, should I go to Thailand or Ireland? It's like, what's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? I'm exhausted. I can just it's not like olden times. You can go on vacation by watching YouTube videos in the comfort of your own home. Send somebody else out to get the jet lag, to get the physical exhaustion. You can enjoy their videos and then you don't have to go yourself. You can just stay home and live simply. So I don't know. But then I snapped out of it like, what am I trying to prove? What am I really trying to prove? It's okay the older I get, the more I'm starting to think, I think I'm a simple, quiet person. And I don't know why am I buffering? Is anybody else buffering? Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Something is shining in my face and I have to figure it out. Excuse me for just half a second and then we'll get started. I'll be here extra if you like. I don't have anywhere to go. We're just chit-chatting until people find the stream. I like to do that for the first couple minutes. I will try and put timestamps for everybody. Is everybody else buffering or what's the story? Serious buffering? Okay, let me check my systems to see what the buffering is about. Let's see. Software, time machine sound, security. Where is my internet? Oh, there it is, network. Let's see what's going on with my network. Is it still buffering? Let me know. Let me try over here something. Well, I don't think I can do that either. Yeah, so what's the story? Are we buffering or not? No buffering anymore? Okay. What's the weather like? Oh, well, love is a many stranger thing, and so is buffering. All right, let's go ahead. Since I think we've got enough people here, let's turn the camera around. Tell me who you are, where are you coming from, what you drinking, what do you want to talk about? Because I am here for you. It is a joy to be here with you. You are a joy. You are a joy and a delight. You bring me joy and delight. I'm going to be 60 in March. Oh, say it isn't true. Say it isn't true, Dr. Whimsy. I'm living my best life, hanging with you folks. Hi, Wendy. Great to see you here. Wendy Burt is in the house. You came early, but I appreciate that. Joanne, so never again. Interesting name. Hi. Thank you, Ann Dillon, for being a member. Melody Harmon is here. Good to see you and gratitude to you. Thanks for helping out. Priscilla Chapman, welcome. Ann Dillon, we've already said hi to you and a member. Seaside Terrell, welcome, welcome. Oracle Persephone, nice to have another Oracle here. Meg Garrow, thank you for being a member. Rebecca, thank you so much for supporting the channel. 15th Fret, hello. Geocosmic Valentine is here. She's often awesome. Be sure and check her channel out. Great remote viewer and a great astrologer as well. Cartomancy Mesquite, also becoming, I believe she's becoming a teacher of remote viewing. So kudos to her and thank you for helping out today. Be Grateful, awesome psychic, like blows my mind. Be Grateful is so psychic, she will scare you. We did some remote viewing classes a couple weeks ago. I hope Be Grateful doesn't mind me sharing. And we give you a target and we tell you nothing. We tell you nothing. It's double blind. Even I don't know the target until the experiment starts. The target was Alcatraz. That was the sealed target. And I asked everybody, what do you think is in the sealed target? And Be Grateful said, I don't know. I just see a prison on an island. It was pretty impressive. Sometimes you get people that are just so good, you have to say, why are you in my class? Very impressive. Hi, solitary empath. Don't be a solitary empath. Hang out with us. Linda Casey's in the house. Welcome. Hi, Michelle from Buffalo. Hi, Rena. Great to see you here. Maja Baker, thanks for being a member. Linda Spees is in the house, and she's in New Mexico. Wonderful, wonderful. Claudia Varias is here, and she's from Astoria, Queens, New York. I used to be in Astoria, Queens, New York. Great part of the world. And some great restaurants. I found some good Colombian food when I was there. Samala Bankol is here. Nancy the water chick. Awesome. So, never again Trump. Yeah, I agree, Joanne. That's very true. We don't want to have people with those kinds of challenges in our White House. Liberal lady. Oh, you're a Libra lady. I read it as liberal lady. She's in Michigan. Well, I am having some simple black tea. My favorite is PG Tips, but the store's been out of PG Tips, so I have another, I don't know which company this is. Might be Red Rose or something. Well, let's get cracking. I think we've got enough people here. Hot topics. People wanted to talk a little bit about Donald Trump, what the remotes show. Y'all know that he's been trying to sell these digital coins, these digital tokens. This is his latest grift. So he's having some financial challenges. God bless him. And now the Department of Justice, it's just coming out. I think the story was originally broke by The Guardian, and now CNN is covering it. The Guardian is really great for breaking stories, by the way. Check out The Guardian if you're looking for a good digital newspaper. So Department of Justice, the January 6th Commission, which, by the way, I think they're having their last public hearing Monday. Did everybody know about that? So you might want to check that out. Looks like they're going to be pursuing prosecution, asking the Department of Justice to prosecute Trump. Yes, I think he's going to be prosecuted. $99 for the Trump stuff. Wow. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of sad because now the people that gave him money, I guess he now is getting death threats from former, when you go into the remotes, what's starting to come up that I don't think has been made public is the amount of death threats that Trump has been receiving from former supporters. So that's basically the remote I got. You have people that didn't have a lot of money to begin with, and then they're in parts of the world that historically you think about con artists going into these poor areas where these miners were and selling Melassa water to save their dying children from black lung. So there's a history of charlatans, etc., in these areas taking advantage of vulnerable people, and they remember that. So now the backlash has started to happen. Some of his followers threatening to harm him, feeling that they've been taken, what little money they had, etc. So the end for Trump, if nothing else, is becoming quite gruesome if you look at his relationship with his former supporters. And when you put yourself in their shoes, not having a lot of education, so you don't have the skills to be able to determine whether or not what the truth is from fiction, because you don't have the education. So the same thing could have happened to any of us if we had wound up, with those being raised in that environment, and then come to find out you've been taken by somebody. You can understand the amount of rage that some of these former Trump supporters are going through. So that's kind of an interesting remote. But yeah, I think the Justice Department wants to do it right, and I think that that's probably what they're going to do. So the other thing that's coming up is that January 6th Commission is also requesting that John Eastman be prosecuted, Mark Meadows, and Jeffrey Clark. Anybody surprised by that? Anybody here? Y'all surprised at all that those names came up? I always felt that Mark Meadows was going to be the fall guy, the bag man. Anybody else agree with me about that? Oh, thank you, Kim Washington. Much appreciation for that. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's too little, too late in terms of those people that are trying to get deals. I mean, for example, the people that were requesting pardons. That seems to be a little strange if you're requesting a pardon from from a co-conspirator. You know, the legal issues with that are a little dicey, I think. I don't know. What do you think? Hi, Patty Powers. Good to have you back as well. Prosecute more? I think that they will. I think that. Oh, I do see that I'm losing my power. What's that about? The no buffering is fine because I'm seeing my internet is going in and out. Interesting. Yeah, Bannon said he couldn't take it anymore, right? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. But you guys say that you're having no trouble seeing it, right? How bizarre, how bizarre, how bizarre. Okay, if it's no trouble, I'm not going to worry about it. So, yeah, I think that they're going to be prosecuted, and I think that we're going to see more prosecutions coming out of Congress, which is kind of interesting. It kind of goes back to those predictions of cannibalism in Congress, you know. So the next thing that people wanted to talk about in terms of remote viewings had to do with Harry and Meghan. Since it's hot topics, we might as well talk about the gossip a bit. Did everybody get a chance to see Harry and Meghan on Netflix, or did you get bored and tired of it? I found the first part of it interesting, but then I got bored because it was like, you know, we already knew so much. But I think it was good that they had their voices heard. And what I liked about Harry and Meghan was, yeah, Bannon's going to cozy up to DeSantis for a pardon. Yeah, it's not going to happen. DeSantis is in trouble too. We can do a blitz on that. Tyler Perry, lovely man, right? Lovely man, and not wanting any attention for this, which I thought was pretty great. It was interesting as a remote viewer. I had put myself in the shoes of everybody in the family, and Queen Elizabeth was calling her son King Charles and saying, "You have to do something. You have to speak to Harry. I don't want him to leave." And I was like, "What the hell?" It was before it had happened. So it was interesting to see how it's very complicated to communicate in that family. But the other thing that came up was, before it became public, was the tension with William and the fact that he actually felt that William was more participating in certain kind of racist attitudes, laughing at the preacher, William, with his schoolmates in the church. And I read lips. Anybody else here read lips? I read lips. And when the American preacher was speaking at Harry and Meghan's wedding, he was loud and passionate because he was talking about love, right? they panned to William, and William said, "Why is he shouting at us?" Like they didn't understand the style of preaching. It's very subdued, the British, right? So when I heard him say that and his friends were laughing, I thought, oh, that's not good. So I thought, well, and he was joking in the pubs when I did a remote view on William. They were joking in the pubs. And there was a confrontation between Harry and William in the remote where Harry had said, this is an opportunity where we can really do something good, and confronting William about his attitude. But then when I did a remote on Charles, it was the exact opposite. He was very emotional. He came to me with sincerity and he said, I have searched my heart. And I really don't believe that. I don't believe that anybody's better than anybody else because of race. He said, I have searched my heart. I don't believe that. And I thought, well, he believes that he is not a racist. And then it came out in the documentary that he was the one that had organized the gospel choir and was very excited to do that. And that it was actually Charles that was the most enthusiastic about bringing that into the community. So that made sense to me as a remote viewer because that was the man that I connected with, which is not to say that Charles is perfect. He's spoiled. He sometimes can get on power trips. He's temperamental. This is not a perfect person, but he did not appear as the main problem in the remotes. And so people were saying, no, it's Charles. No, it's this person. I was like, I'm going into these remotes and I'm feeling the tensions with William and Harry, and that Charles has really, almost like a confessional, gone into a profound he has searched his conscience in a very mature way. So I thought that was lovely to see that he had been really the person that was responsible for bringing all this positive cultural diversity into the ceremony. Did anyone else pick up on that at all? I thought that was lovely. Oh, you read the lips too? How'd you feel about it? And just like his attitude, like, why is he shouting at us? It was very inappropriate. I was very offended. As an American, I was, as a person, but also, yeah, not good, not good. Yeah. So I would say, well, there have been a lot of rumors about Charles that he is an equal opportunity lover. Like he had a huge crush on Donna Summers. I read his valet's book, and he used to have to pack for Charles. Got to bring the Donna Summers. I want some hot stuff, baby, tonight. There's also videos of him dancing to it. Also, he had a huge crush on Barbra Streisand, and there's rumors about them. So he always was he was always the most progressive royal. So it's disappointing to hear that about William, and to see that, to personally see it, was disappointing. Oh, didn't you just love the wedding? I thought it was lovely. The one thing I would say, just feedback, is trying desperately to get people to like you makes people hate you. And I think that, which is also to some extent what I think Princess Diana did. She was very insecure. You just kind of have to go out and live your life. And maybe if they had just laughed it off, but how much mental strength do you need to do that? You know what I'm saying? Well, is it true? I'm wondering the rumors about him and Donna Summer, if he had a fling with her, because there's a rumor about that. I think it'd be cool if he did. She was very beautiful. Yeah, he had a very bad crush on her for a very long time. All right. Well, I think I lost weight. No, I'm still 168 pounds. Yeah, 168 pounds, 5'9". She did pass away too young. She was gorgeous, but I also liked the color in her voice. She had she sang like nobody else. Yeah. Well, I think we should do the Empath Prayer, and then whatever blitzes you folks want to do, we can do. It just feels so good to be back with you guys. Oh my God. I can't believe I slept 15 hours. And the first thing out of my mind, as soon as I'm starting to feel like I'm recovering, like 15 hours sleep, the first thing out of my mind is, well, if I live really frugally for the next 3 months, maybe I can go to Thailand. It's like, what is wrong with me? The thing is I watch these YouTube videos where people like are Thailand on a budget, and then I get they convince me, and then the next thing you know, I'm like doing it. But the great thing I would say about Japan, the yen is really weak right now. It's really, really weak. So if you are going to go to Japan, do it now, because you get 1.7 yen per dollar or something like that. So it's like everything is 40% off when you go to Japan. So you have to think about that. Also, if you go through Expedia and you join Expedia, you can get points and go off season and fly midweek. That's another way that I tell people to save money. And capsule hotels are fine. I stayed at a capsule hotel for 4 days. I think it was 100 and something bucks for 4 days with a $10 gift card from Starbucks every day. So that's 40 bucks back. So my advice, if you do stay at the Nines Inn, don't do the breakfast thing because they're just going to give you a Starbucks card. Do it without breakfast. And across the street is the Saint Marche coffee house, where you can get a roll and coffee for 450 yen, which is like $3. So it's cheaper than Starbucks. So if you're really trying to be frugal, I would say stay at the 9-in capsule in Kanda if you're a woman, and the men's one is somewhere else. Don't get the breakfast thing. Don't get and the regular local coffee houses are cheaper than Starbucks. And if you're really, really frugal, you can also go get your food at Lawson's. I got a couple meals. I just grabbed sandwiches at Lawson's. They also have 7-Eleven there. And remember, it's 7-Eleven 40% off. And I had $1,200 free because United gave me a $1,200 voucher. So I didn't have to pay for the plane ticket. So there's so many ways that you can finagle to travel cheap. I mean, first thing is find out where you want to go, be willing to fly off season, fly midweek. Yeah, and I would go through Expedia because you can also get hotel. They'll also give you a discount if you go hotel, flight combined. But I won't do the whole entire trip at one hotel. Like when I first arrive, if it's 2 weeks and I just need to sleep, go as cheap as possible. Also on weekends, if you say, well, I don't want to stay on a capsule hotel every night, I want to go someplace nice, then my advice is on weekends when the rates are high, stay in the capsule hotels. And then when they're desperate to get you into the hotel, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday, like check the prices when there's nobody at the hotel. Like that's how I got the 4-star. Plus I had 120 off. I ended up paying $179 for 3 days at a 4-star hotel. And that included a buffet breakfast. So 7-Elevens in Japan, yeah. But they also have healthy stuff at Lawson's too. I mean, they had brown rice balls and steamed vegetables and stuff like that. You can have lunch for $2.50. And all the Zen monasteries I went to were free. So all the gardens, all the monasteries, and many of the museums were completely free. So in the end, what are you paying for? You're paying for nothing. You get 20, 30% off on your flight because you're going off season, you're going midweek, You're staying at capsule hotels at the weekends. And then when you really want a nice place, like I really want to freshen up and do a 3-star hotel, go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And you will save thousands just by doing those tips. Yeah. All right, let's do the Empath Prayer. This is if you want to travel. Though the older I get, the more I want to stay home and watch young people travel, right? You may be like me, like I'm looking forward to because I can travel right here in Portland. I can do travel videos of simple living in Portland, Oregon that people would want to watch because not everybody gets to go to Portland, Oregon, right? All right, so why don't you say it with me? Let's do the Empath Prayer and let's see what's going on. Sound good? Should I give you guys a reading? Would you all like to have a collective reading just because we didn't get together on Sunday? Or do you want to wait until Sunday for your collective? You own me, baby. Whatever you guys want. Whatever makes you happy. We can do a collective or not. Okay, so people are requesting a collective. Let's do the Empath Prayer and let's see if Spirit has a message for us. Okay, say it with me. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. Interesting. Let's see what Spirit wants to say to us. Where's my tissue? Oh, there it is. What does Spirit want to say to us? All right, the message from Spirit. Now is the time for you to do everything in your power to take care of yourself. You are the priority. You are the priority. It is very important at this time for you to understand that you are the priority and to understand what you need in order to become happy. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to compete with other members of your family. Talk about family hurts. This is a time of pulling back and taking care of you and loving yourself and finding out what you need to bring yourself happiness. Are you physically comfortable? Are your physical needs being met? Did you give yourself a massage today after your shower? What have you done to make yourself feel good mentally and physically? Are you on a budget? Have you taken care of the credit card debt? This is all about balanced living and making sure that your needs are met and understand, it's interesting. This is exactly how I felt when I flew back to the States. Was like, wow, I just want to be cozy in a blanket with a good book, hanging out with the people on YouTube. I don't need to see the world to be happy. I can watch it on YouTube. They've already done the work for me. Our karma card is the 6 of Pentacles, the give and flow. How can we create a balance in our lives? How can we create justice in our lives? Don't complicate your lives. Keep your life simple. It's kind of like a Zen. It reminds me of the Zen monks that I met when I was in Japan. They didn't go out and see the world. They never left the monastery, but they were like the smartest people in the world. It was just day to day, making sure they walked in the garden to give them peaceful thoughts, making sure they did their exercises, making sure that they helped their fellow human beings, making sure their food was nutritious. They had the best vegan food, by the way. Brown rice. It's like brown rice and steamed veggies, and it was just a real simple food. I ate with them, delicious, simple. And for whatever reason, it didn't upset my stomach. They must have a secret because, eating that way, I think can, be. But anyway, the point is simple living. Six of Pentacles is about seeking balance and also financial balance. Knowing how much money you have. It's amazing how often people will have a lot of emotional upset and they'll be looking anywhere other than their bank account. Can I pay my bills? Am I sleeping enough? Did I give myself a foot massage today? What did I expose myself to? There's a message here from Spirit that things in the outside world are going to become possibly violent. For example, we see Russia becoming more and more desperate. They have to get ahead by winter, or they don't think they can. They don't think they can win. That they're going to run out of steam by the end of winter. So we have this energy coming around us of desperation, anger, and violence. Also goes back to the remote on Trump's supporters now turning on him. They want their money back. They feel like this guy's a criminal. Eventually everybody figures it out to the best of their ability. Eventually, right? So now is the time of account and reckoning. This is an accounting card, making sure that you love yourself, that you live simply, that you live below your means, that you eat nutritious food, that you don't stress. You don't have to save the world, but you are obligated to take care of yourself and make sure you're happy. And also keep yourself strong because there's violence around us, right? That Knight of Swords is coming to us. Where we are at, again, what are you building? Rome wasn't built in a day. Relax. Be like the Zen monks. Chop wood, carry water, right? Three of Pentacles is about the foundation of the things you build. Slow, steady. What's the rush? A little every day. Everything is going to be okay if you stick to living every moment and try and accomplish a little bit every day. Don't overwhelm yourself with too high expectations. You have nothing to prove. You're good people. And if you live below your means, if you live simply and take care of your needs and avoid negative information coming in that drags you down, negative people that drag you down, watch what goes into you and what comes out of you, right? So we have the Empress over us, which would indicate wealth, abundance. Also, it can just be a wealth of good feelings, because when we take care of ourselves, when we eat right, when we sleep, when we give ourselves massages, when we chant, or do a good spiritual practice, we feel good. And it's really that simple. And then if we have a little bit of extra energy after that, we can then help others feel good. That is the internal revolution, right? That is the internal revolution. Ooh, new beginnings starting for us in spring of 2022 regarding our health. There is a real vow that Spirit is asking of you right now to take a vow. That's the best way to describe this, particularly with the Three of Pentacles, which I think of as a contract or vow. That you do everything in your power to heal your life right now, that you take this vow. What sits with you is Archangel Raphael. He is the archetype of healing. You're not going to beat yourself up anymore. You're not going to put toxic things in your body anymore. You have decided to love yourself and to give yourself the nurturing and care you deserve. that you're headed towards a new road. And it's not about what's happening out there. It's about what's happening inside you. Spring comes to you too, this vow. It's interesting. I was watching a video today. A woman, she was in her 70s. She couldn't get out of bed. She was in so much pain. And then she just started simple yoga stretches. And it's less than a year later. And she is like doing upward dog, downward dog. And she's like 78. She has returned her health because she never gave up, never gave up. And she didn't try to conquer the world. She just one small step every day. But the fact that the third house, which is the heart of the matter, is Archangel Raphael, it's all about loving yourself. But I like also the fact that the card of spring, new beginnings, Four of Wands stands in the fourth, which means we're entering into a time of new beginnings. The human revolution that we seek begins with us learning this amazing self-care and self-love so that we can then inspire others. And with that comes great wisdom. Everything you have exists inside you. It's the day-to-day acts of self-love and self-care. Justice you pursue. This is a strong message from Spirit that we are being bombarded by messages that we are not to pursue justice. Just move on. A lot of time people go into therapy and they're told that their obsessive need for justice is a mental defect that they have to cure. No, that is the conscience that you inherited from your ancestors that keep the planet in one piece so that we don't blow ourselves up. It is an instinct that is part of our humanity that we need to honor and stop fighting. Stop fighting the fact that you seek justice absolute. And I would also give that message to psychiatrists, to doctors, to physicians, and to therapists. I saw Stoltz, I believe that's how you pronounce the name, on Netflix. And it's a good documentary on a really nice psychiatrist. But he talks about how he's trying to help his patients not be obsessed with resentments or the need for justice against people that have wronged them. And I thought, he's a great guy, but he's missing the boat. It is an inherent part of us that we are given this gift from our ancestors that we have to pursue justice in the world. Doesn't mean we have to continually go after someone who harmed us 20 years ago. But it means we have to honor that part, an integral part of us that is not a sociopath, that feels driven to pursue justice. Others in relationship to us are even the slowest kid in the class is starting to get it. But we can't be responsible for them. We can only be responsible for ourselves. We get it. We get that we have to pursue justice absolute for ourselves, that we have to do an account and a reckoning of our actions. We get it. We can't force another person to drink their green smoothie, but we drank our green smoothie today. We did the mantras. We did the work. We did the yoga. We understand that our number one priority is we have to love ourselves and take care of ourselves and pursue justice absolute. Other people can be inspired by us and say, I really like what Whimsy said, or I really like what Dave Johnson said. I love Dave. He's a very ethical person. So when you go into that kind of energy, all you can ultimately do is control your own actions, your own choices. But the other in relationship with us, smoother waters, the rocky waters prevailing. People are getting it. The light bulb is getting it. Like the issue of the Trump followers now turning on him. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. They didn't have the education to understand fact from fiction. They didn't have the education, and they were desperate. They needed to believe this, and now they realize that they've been the victims of a con. So eventually, even the slowest kid in the class catches on. This is something that Schumer said recently in an interview. They finally got it. The hope and the fear that you will not, this is very powerful also, the hope and the fear that you will not be wise enough, that you are missing something, that there's something I missed. I don't want to die and miss it. I don't want to, I need to know it all. I need to see it all. That fear of the hermit. Also dying alone, which is, you're here with us, so that won't happen. We're with each other. We support each other. This is your community. I'm your community. I'm your friend. We're your friends, right? So you're not alone. This is more a feeling of a fear of lack of knowledge with the hermit in the ninth house. And again, it's like the Zen garden. We try to make it perfect. We try to learn to the best of our ability. But to err is human, right? And the final outcome for us, you have created your own paradise. You've created your own kingdom. You stand as the Duchess, the Duke, right? Of downtown Portland or wherever you live, because you have built that kingdom within yourself. And so from that comes these amazing partnerships and these amazing relationships. And that is how we collectively contribute to the good. And that is how we create heaven on earth. We help each other. Final outcome is beautiful partnerships, strong foundation. And then the clarification for all of us, we seek justice absolute for the entire world because it comes from a place of compassion and humanity for the world. We don't want the world to suffer. And this is why we cry for justice. See, Mila agrees with me. Hello, my love. How are you? Did you want to say hi to everybody? Others in relationship to us, same thing, victory. So the slowest kid in the class, you stop running and you say, come on, Joey, you can come, right? We're not out to get, that's why we delete, somebody attacks and calls somebody from a different political party names. We don't do that here. We're fellow human beings. We're not going to play the red-blue game. People know I'm a liberal, but you don't have to be a liberal to hang out with us. It's just, that's who I am. But this is about this awakening that's happening, right? Cold fusion. Remember when I had people said, could you go and throw yourself forward to 2050? And what is the world like as a remote viewer? Sure, I can follow the energy. And then I wound up in Texas. And what was the first thing I said 2 years ago when I did the remote? I took a deep breath in. And I said, my God, I've never smelled such clean air before, right? They just released that now we have cold fusion, right? So there goes the fossil fuel industry, which means what? The air is going to get real clean real quickly, right? And then the final outcome for us, you are victorious because you understand the nature of your own existence. It really is as simple as that. Do your best. Live a simple life. Don't overspend. Live below your means. Put a little money aside for your retirement. Eat a nutrient-dense meal. Watch what you're exposed to, that it isn't negative. Don't put negative in, don't put negative out, and help others when you can. And seek justice absolute. And don't fight that part of your humanity that seeks justice absolute. Honor and respect it. And that is your reading. What do y'all think? So we save ourselves. Pretty cool, huh? Hi, Mila. Did you miss me when I was gone? Yeah? Want to say hi to your friends? No? You want me to go back and take a nap with you? Yeah, it's not happening. Sorry, I've been sleeping. She's been loving it because I've been sleeping as much as she does. Well, so that is the reading. I hope it gave people clarity and wisdom. I loved our card. Were those not the most positive cards we've ever had, by the way? Can you believe those cards? It's very unusual for us to get cards that positive, I'll be honest with you. Oh my God. Usually there's something, well, there was the base of the base of the matter was Knight of Swords. So we're going to be seeing more violence, probably more violence from, I would imagine, Putin. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out also. I got a gift. I got a couple cards and gifts. Thank you, Trisha. I got your card. Thank you. Thank you. Eileen and Richard, thank you. I got your card. And Ruth Pearl, Birds of Cloudland Station. Ruth Pearl is a brilliant artist. I mean, she really is a brilliant artist. And I can't believe she just gives me this stuff. Thank you, Ruth. Look at her. Isn't she incredible? I don't know where you purchase her stuff, but she is unbelievably talented. Nate, look at this. Isn't she incredible? Ruth Pearl. Check out her artwork. So thank you for that. All right. So whenever I get the order, we will blitz away. Thank you, everyone who's become a member, and thank you, everybody, for donations. By the way, much appreciated. Also, I think I'll probably do my predictions for 2023, hopefully in a couple of days. Isn't she incredible? Yeah, Ruth Pearl's amazing. So, okay, I've got an order. Blitz away from Alexandra. Thank you. And also Ann Dillon. Thank you. All right, let's do it. We've already done the Empath Prayer. Let's go. So Samilia Banco would like to know, what is the future of Stacey Abrams? Let's take a look. Honey, usually you don't sit there. Usually you sit up here. Well, this is better because this way you can look out here. See? Yeah. That's for you. And then I'll move this like that. And then you can look outside. There you go. And see if the birdie's flying home. Yeah. Sorry about that. Whoop. Okay. What is the future of Stacey Abrams? Well, her first message when I go into Stacey Abrams' energy is, where do we go from here? So there is a part of her that is not sure where she wants to go. I could see her being hired by the Department of Justice. I could see her working as an attorney general for a state or something like that. But right now she has the moon card. So she really is looking at not really knowing where to go from here. This is Kemp, I think. There's also this feeling like Kemp and new administration may actually want to work with her in some way. This almost looks like she could work for the district attorney. She could become a district attorney or attorney general of Georgia. Like, she has a future there politically in that area. The hope and the fear. She is preying on it. She's not quite sure where to go from here. But I see her possibly going into something legal. She's offered a job and she will be very successful. This is like attorney general or district attorney position in a state somewhere. It's on the East Coast. I can tell you that because it's my East Coast card. You can see here she's confused, but in the next couple months, you see her eyeing a position on the East Coast. It's almost like some Republicans are working with her. Look at this. This Empress is coming to her. But what's interesting is, look, she gets her wish and there's a job offer. See that Page of Pentacles? I read that as a job offer. And then final outcome for her is the Magician. So she enters into a time of power. I think she's going to be offered a position as an attorney general or something like that. It'll be interesting. Supreme Court, you know, I did a remote briefly last night, and it's almost like she's being told to stay in Georgia. It's almost like Biden is saying, no, we don't want you on the national stage because you're doing too many important things in the South. So that could make it so that she's not going to be the first person thought of for the Supreme Court, because you've got this jewel, this amazing person in Georgia, and then you take her out of Georgia, and then who's going to replace her? So they'll give her as many resources as they can to help support her success in Georgia. But do you really want to take her out of Georgia? You want to keep her in Georgia and then also get her to do work in South Carolina and other states. That's kind of what it looks like. But who would replace her? She's irreplaceable. Okay, so the next question is TW would like to know about the future of crypto and FTX. Of course, I can't remember his name, but he has been arrested for fraud, embezzling, and all that other bad stuff. No, it's fraud and money laundering, or what is it? And his parents are now being implicated. Hey, gewaltig mehr. Now Stanford is starting to look bad. So this is what you got from your Stanford education. I don't believe in those fancy schmancy educations. I went to University of Washington. I did pre-med at University of Washington. Let me tell you, their med school is better than Harvard Medical School. We're in the we're the top med school. So why would you go to Harvard when University of Washington is just as good or better? I'm telling you, state schools, no need to go to private schools. Save your money. All right. Crypto and FTX. Well, the feds want control. You know, it goes back to the idea that the feds wanted control because it used to be the wild, wild west, and now the feds are all over crypto, opening up crypto accounts, investigating, etc. There's still a lot of money to be made in crypto, but it becomes more legitimate the more that the international different countries are getting involved, monitoring, etc. But actually, crypto is great if it's in the next few years because there's more monitoring, and so it becomes a more stable economy. Like Bitcoin actually looks stable with this type of a card. Same with Ethereum, and then you have rejoicing. So the people who are legitimately diversifying into crypto want the feds to be involved. They don't want it to be wild, wild west. They want some kind of rules, and that seems to be what's going on. Hopes and fears, the coin, and then the final outcome is battling. People will be battling for power. But it goes back to the Robert Mueller stuff where the feds, we were being robbed blind, right? They were taking their money and bribes outside the country and Seychelles Isles, and look at the state of America. There's no homelessness in Singapore. There's no homelessness in Japan. You get vouchers and you get discounts if you are a citizen of Japan, if you live in Japan. They're not going to let you live like that. I mean, this is how normal societies function. But we've been robbed blind, right? Our money's been stolen from us. We're paying the same amount of taxes as some European countries, and we have to pay our own healthcare on top of it. We're actually paying more when you look at the money. And yet we don't have roads and bridges. We don't have basic healthcare. So where'd the money go? Where did all this money go? Well, the people didn't pay their taxes. They got paid under the table. They hid it in shell corporations, etc. And now all these exposés are coming about bribes in Europe. And it goes back to warfare and how warfare has changed and how this will eventually make its way to The Hague. So we have a new beginning for crypto. So it is financially going to become stable. But you also have ethics coming in. Rejoicing over ethics. People want ethics. They want federal control. And then the money, power. So it stabilizes. But I'm telling you, people are going to jail. That guy from FTX, he's going to be convicted and he will be prosecuted. He's going to be prosecuted and convicted. He's going to prison. He can say, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. He can be in denial about what he did, but he did it, and they're pretty sure he did it, and they're pretty sure he's going to get convicted. You can see fighting and conviction. Yeah, he will serve prison time. And probably his parents will as well. You can't do that stuff. I don't know who the Bankman killer is, so I can't answer that question, Melissa Miller. I'm sorry. But if you can explain it to me. Yeah, UW Med School, #1 in the country. And Bastyr University is #1 for naturopathic medical school, and same teachers and same school books. So I did my pre-med University of Washington. Then I went to Bastyr, where they beat me up. It was very difficult. Then I transferred to NUNM, National University of Naturopathic Medicine. But yeah, no need to go to private schools when state schools are great. Yeah, that's what they're saying, be grateful, is that when crypto gets cleaned up and there become rules and regulations, it actually becomes pretty good. It becomes a stable income. Oh, thank you, Alexandra. That's very sweet. Oh, Bankman Keeler. Yeah, Bankman Keeler is going to be convicted and do prison time based on those cards, because the 9 of Wands is I read that as to be jailed or cornered. I don't think he's going to get out of it. Oh, I'm not vegan. Alexandra, I just cut animal products out to the best of my ability. I had some sushi. I don't eat chicken or any of that stuff. I had a little bit of egg, but egg gives me a headache. My biggest struggle with veganism has been dairy and fish. But I can get to 90% plant-based. And right now, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm holding at 90%. I got a little bit of A1 milk in here. No one's perfect. But boy, did I have a great vegan breakfast and a vegan lunch today. Oh my God. I had my peanut butter and banana protein shake with greens and frozen berries. And for lunch, I made a delicious short grain brown rice in my brown rice cooker. I made a mung bean stew and a huge salad. Yeah. Uni is interesting. Uni is sea urchin, and it's not considered sentient. It doesn't have a nervous system. It's a very strange, ancient being, similar to a plant. And I really like sea urchin roe. Something in it my body likes. And so when I found out that some vegans will eat it, I was very thrilled. Some vegans will do clams. What is it? The bivalves. The bivalves are considered non-sentient. And I guess sea urchin is in the same category as considered non-sentient. So it was kind of cool. I had some of that. I had some tuna. But I don't like to... Oh, you're going off to Aldi. Great. So any more questions, bring them my way. I'm ready. The archives on JFK? Oh, I think they will. Right, TW. A society with justice does not have homelessness. That's right. And it's real easy to do. I mean, Japan, they have the most amazing situations for capsule hotels for the homeless. It's absolutely amazing. So, like we as tourists pay $20 a night for a capsule hotel, but they, I think, have vouchers. And some of these capsule hotels, and they don't tell you not to drink, by the way. You can drink as much as you like. But if you go to the capsule hotel, some of them have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so you won't go hungry, and you're entitled to 2 free beers, and you can just help yourself, and it's the buddy system. So, plenty of the places that I looked at were set up like that. So, as a tourist, I would pay 30 bucks, 35 bucks a day, and I would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I wanted to stay at a place like that. And, yeah, and they feed you and you get a voucher discount, so there would be no homelessness, and that's the same with Singapore. It's actually really easy to end homelessness and doesn't cost a lot of money. All right, Jeff. Is the world growing fascism stopping near the future? That's a really good question. Well, fascism also increases when people get poor because people get desperate and then it's human nature to look for scapegoats, right? So what do the people in power do? What is part of hegemony? You get the poor to fight amongst themselves. They try to get poor white people to fight with poor black people. Yeah, keep the party going. Rather than us coming together and saying, wait a minute, we're being manipulated. All right, the future of fascism in the world. And happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you. And you and you and you. It's all about money. No, because it goes back to economic justice. It's a very ancient idea, right? Justice you shall pursue. No, they're going back to the conversation about homelessness and investing in the people. If you invest in the people and the basic needs of the people, then fascism becomes less attractive. It's like when you think of fascism in Germany after World War I, when the economy collapsed, people desperately wanted to blame somebody. So they went and found scapegoats. You have Biden here very active in the economy too. See, I see him being reelected if he decides to go again, because when we followed the remote, he didn't retire until he was 84, remember? So how old is Biden right now? 79? He could run a second term. Hopes and fears, the night on the white horse, seducers, final outcome, scholarship. No, we're going to see an end to fascism. Yeah, end to fascism. Economic opportunities. You know what I like about Biden's cards? He genuinely is working towards economic justice. You can see here again, scholarship, economic justice, the money. I keep having a vision of Pete Buttigieg I wonder if Kamala doesn't want to be VP. I think she may want to step down and do something different, whether it's going up. Look, if he gives her the Supreme Court position she always wanted, and then Buttigieg comes in, that's going to be a step up for her because she's going to be able to have more political power. But I keep seeing Buttigieg becoming his VP or in some position of power. This is not good for her. You know, when you do a remote view on Kamala Harris, she is actually not happy as the VP because she feels it's not the best use of her abilities. She's a lawyer, she's a prosecutor. She would be better as, she has been an AG. it's almost like she doesn't want to do another term. She would rather sit on the Supreme Court. She wants to create justice through the laws. Sitting there and posing with the president and working as VP, it doesn't fulfill her the way that pursuing justice in the law does. That's just how it feels when you go into her energy. It's like she's a little lost. She's better suited to working for the DOJ or being on the Supreme Court. Because when I go into this energy, I keep seeing him with Buttigieg. This is his card and this is Buttigieg's card. It's almost like Kamala gives it to Buttigieg. Like, you want to go in? I don't mind. You can, but you won't be the president. Look, I don't think I want this gig. It's okay not to want to be the president. It's okay to say, you know what? I've changed my mind. I don't want to be the VP anymore. I would rather you put me in a Supreme Court, because you remember what Biden said. She would be great as a VP and she would be great on the Supreme Court. And I think it's becoming increasingly obvious to her that if he's going to win a second term and 2-3 more seats open up, she can't do that if she's sitting there as the VP. Hey, buddy, remember me? Remember what you said about me in the Supreme Court? Well, no, you can't do that, sweetie, because you're the VP. So you're giving it to some. If I were her with her training, I'd rather step down, give it to Buttigieg so that I could go have a lifetime position. I would do more good, and she's young enough, I would do more good on the Supreme Court with my skills than sitting around as the VP. It's just not, it's not going to be the most powerful position for her. So it's possible that she steps down, gives it to Buttigieg so that she can be what she really needs to do, which is be on the Supreme Court. I could be completely wrong, but every time I go into her energy, her heart's not in it. I don't know. Anybody else ever get that? It would be, yes, he is a man. I hear that. But he's also LGBTQ, and that would be married to a man, and that would be a very powerful statement also as VP. And having her on the Supreme Court would be really good for the country. So there's that. So we have to, where is, with her abilities, where is she best suited? And when you go into her energy, I think she would rather be on the Supreme Court. I know I would be if I were her, right? That's not a 4-year position or 2 years if someone passes away. That's a lifetime position. Think about how much power she could have. So I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it when I go into it. It's like, oh, too bad you can't have that position because you're the VP. And so she's watching all these other capable people becoming Supreme Court judges. You can't tell me with her education that she isn't like feeling like, oh man, I really blew it. Okay, let's look at student loan forgiveness. I'm having fun. Today is a good day. Student loan forgiveness. Thank you, Samilia, for that question. Student loan forgiveness. Oh, hi, Tawny. My friend is here. If you're looking for a counselor, if you have anyone who's struggling, who's trans or LGBTQ, my friend Tawny, she's a therapist that helps with that community. So great to see you here, my love. I miss you. Okay, so regarding student loan forgiveness, it's going to be forgiven. I don't know how it's going to be forgiven, but it's going to be forgiven. You can see Page of Pentacles, which is the pay. Oh, we've got a new woman in a position of power in the Department of Education. That's kind of interesting. Hopes and fears, the money man. Oh, you know what's happening? They're going to have, they're going to reform private loans to students so that the banks, etc., that are loaning privately, that are vultures to students, they're in trouble. The federal loans are going to be protected and be forgiven, but the real issue here has to do with those private loans. Look at that grief with the private industry. So we may have some problems with private loans. If you've got government, I have only government loans, so I'm good. Yeah, they're not going to bother to try and collect from people. They get forgiven after a while anyway. You pay 10% of your income, and then after 20-something years, they forgive it. You just pay what you can. You can see here walking away from it. I knew that card was going to come up because when I went into the energy, it was kind of like a wrapping it up. But the main issue with the loans has to do with the profiteers in the private sector. So I think that what's going to happen is the government is going to have to step in and start penalizing and really taking to task these banks that are exploiting vulnerable students. Yeah. And if your kid wants to go to a private school, my advice is tell them no. Oh, well, but I have a dream. You can still be the next American Idol and go to a state school. It's quite all right. Nobody, I'm telling you, don't do private schools. Not necessary. Oh, I did a remote. I did a remote on Twitch. I did a remote on Twitch who took his own life. It was a very interesting conversation, Frida. Thank you. That actually reminds me of the remote. So what Twitch said is he said that his entire life, he felt that he was, what did he say? He said he was faking it. He felt like he was faking it. He felt like he was not the best DJ. He felt like after COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs as DJs, people that were much better than him. He felt like he was a fake and a fraud. He felt like he was a fraud. That he wasn't that talented, that he just basically told me that he felt that he was nothing special, that he never felt like he deserved the job he had, that other people were better than him, that once the show ended, he felt like he had no future and that everybody was going to know the truth, that he was fake. He had this fear that people were going to find out that he was undeserving of what he had and that everybody was going to figure it out. And that after the Ellen DeGeneres show ended, he felt like he was just going to go back to a highly competitive field where he wasn't even the best. And anything he did was going to be a step down, and that everybody knew the truth, that he was not talented. He felt like he was not talented, that he was faking it. And that was basically what he said. He had very low self-esteem. Like he felt like he was just a regular guy, like eventually people are going to figure this out, that I'm just a regular guy spinning records. I'm not even that good. And I know amazing DJs that can't even get a job during COVID. They can't. And here I am in this situation and I'm a nobody and and I'm faking it. I'm a fake. And now everybody's going to know because I don't have this job anymore. And yeah, I can do a couple celebrity shows or whatnot, but I'm a has-been and I can't compete with these other people that have 10 times more talent and no work. So it was a really interesting mindset to get into his mind. Oh, thank you. That was the word I was looking for, Patty. He had imposter syndrome. He felt he was an imposter. And he could joke and but he's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can't really do this. I mean, I can do it sort of, but Do you know this DJ? You know this? It's like, it's a world I know nothing about. He's like, this one rocks the house. And he's losing his house because they haven't been able to go perform for 2 years. And this one, and who the hell am I? And everybody's going to figure it out. I'm an imposter. And now I lost my job. Everyone's looking at me and they're expecting me to go do something great. I can't go do nothing great because I'm not really that good. I'm an imposter. So that's what it felt like. Oh, really? They were calling him I didn't know anything about it. I just know when I connected with him, uh, I said, I'm a fake, I'm a fraud. I can't really do this. The whole thing's fake. I can do it, but not really. I mean, his job is just to laugh and joke and do a little bit. And it's like, but I'm not, these are real DJs. They're really and then they're asking me to come in and I can't really do a lot of this stuff. Like, that's how it felt. Yeah. It's, it's unfortunate. The thing I got away from, in terms of like Mehgan and Harry, this question from Irene, that everything was going to be okay. I was really happy to hear about Charles selecting that he was the one that suggested the gospel choir and that he wanted the best of the best, and contributed a couple requests for the music he wanted to hear. I mean, that's the guy I connected with. I didn't, and a man willing to search his own soul also, and his own heart, so not a perfect person, but pretty cool guy in a lot of ways. All right, my loves, my beloveds, we've been here for 1 hour and 22 minutes. So I think I'm going to close it up. Did everybody have fun? You have a good time? I'll be back on Sunday. Tomorrow, Saturday, noon, if you're a member. We're having tea time together at noon. Hopefully you can join us if you want to be a member. It's for fairies, angels, and above. So we have a tea time, and then we do private readings for people. We call it Spa Day. We take some time to love ourselves, talk about how we take care of each other, and do readings. So hopefully if you are a member, that's tomorrow noon. I will put the link up a couple hours beforehand so that you can find it. And then the link will be in the community page if you're having trouble finding the link, if you are a member, and then you just click on it, and I will be there noon Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sound good? Michelle, yes, we've been blitzing for about 45 minutes. I know. I thought if I stayed for like 1 hour and 20 something minutes, everybody would catch me, but evidently. Don't worry though. For members, I'll be back tomorrow at noon, and then 11 a.m. on Sunday for our regular Sunday show. You guys are awesome. You guys have no idea. I literally miss you. I physically miss you when I don't get to hang out with you. All right. Love you guys more than you know. And I'll see the members tomorrow. All right. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your support. Bye-bye. Have a good one.